Welcome back, friends, to a beautiful Sunday morning on the homestead. So we are back in the garden and working on the timber frame garden boxes for Mrs. W. As you know, the old plywood boxes were rotting away, so we're systematically repairing them one at a time until we get them all brought up to the nice 4x6s. So Jack told me I was micromanaging him the other day, and that he could do it on his own, so I put him in charge. He's in charge of all the joinery. I'm going to be doing the excavating, and then as I said, I'm just your helper, so if you need help moving something, just holler, but I'm going to leave it up to him 100%. So he's probably right. Jackie, you got it under control over there? Okay. How about this for a blast from the past, from the old excavating days, the Spectraphysics EL1. Man, when these grade lasers came out, it was really something. They're commonplace now, and they're not that expensive anymore like they used to be, but they were expensive back in the day. It was a real luxury to have one. I remember when I got my first one. So a grade laser, if you don't know, and some folks ask, good grief, are you really using a grade laser for garden boxes? Well, yeah, you know, I mean, do everything you do to the glory of God. You always want to do the best you can, and a house is only as good as its foundation, right? So it's worth it to take a little extra time. And we never had these growing up. My dad, you know, we'd always do like railroad ties and in landscaping and stuff, and he would just take like a 4-foot level and bend some nails over and hook it onto an 8-foot 2x4 and use that, and that works just as well. But if you have one or you can borrow one, grade laser is really nice. What a grade laser does, if you don't know, it basically it broadcasts 360 degrees a perfectly flat plane, a laser plane that's picked up by a receiver of some sort. This one here is just, of course, the one that comes with it. So your system usually consists of 3 tools. You've got your grade rod, which can be just a 2x2 stick, it doesn't matter, and your receiver. Now the receiver here has a little window on it, and that will pick up that horizontal laser that's being broadcast and give you 2 tones. Fast tones means it's too high, slow tones means it's too high, too low, and in the middle, a solid tone is perfection. So how they work is, let's say that you want to dig a trench that's exactly 2 feet deep, right? So what you would do is you would put your receiver on your grade rod, and you would check your grade where you're standing, right? So I'll go down here till I get that. Okay, so that's exactly right on the plane with the laser, right? So now I'm looking at that. So I'm basically at 5 feet. And for some reason, surveyors, I believe surveyors and excavators that we did back in the day, used tenths instead of 16ths, which is very confusing to me. There are 10 tenths in a foot. I don't know. That's a little bit too close to the metric system for my liking. We'll stick with good old American inches and feet here. So what you do, so you figure, let's say we're at 5 feet. If I were to move this up to 7, right? Now that's 2 feet above my grade. So as the ditch gets deeper, just imagine this. I mean, it's the grade rod. It's like when you bend over, you're not as tall as you are when you're standing, right? As the ditch gets deeper and the grade rod goes further and further into the hole until it will give you, pick up that tone, and then you'll know you're exactly at 2 feet. So that's how they work. So what we do here is we find the low spot in the garden, set the tone, and then we match everything else to that. And that way, when we put our garden boxes down, that they're nice. Because, you know, folks, you want to do good work. You want to build fences that are straight, and when your friends and family come over, you want them to look at, you know, I can look at a guy's house and look at the things that he does and how he builds, and glean a lot of information about that guy's character, right? He doesn't have to be the best. If you don't have the skills, it's unrealistic, but you can tell if someone puts their effort into something, right?
this, I measured it all.
Uh-huh.
This is reasonable.
This is your control side here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, but then go down to the bottom.
Okay.
Still okay.
Yeah, it's a little off. If you check this way here?
Yeah, that's my issue.
Yeah.
So it drops off a bunch at the bottom, and I'm not sure how that managed to happen.
Okay. Grab your saw. It could be in the settings of your saw. Let's take a look at that.
My saw didn't go that deep.
Yeah, but there's a measure, or there's a way that it angles that I haven't shown you. On the front here, do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
So if this isn't set with your square,
Mm-hmm.
like this can be off, and that could be causing you a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So how you check that is whenever you're messing with these, I take the battery out,
Mm-hmm.
just for safety. If it's a corded one, just unplug it. Grab your speed square, and you can't trust this factory gauge on here. They're not very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you put your speed square across, this is called the fence,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put that across there. Don't hit one of the carbide teeth because they have a curve. That means they stick out wider.
Mm-hmm.
But go in between them, and you hold that there, and then look, can you see sunlight? It's got to be absolutely flat on the fence. And kneel down there. Can you see sunlight between the blade?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think we're ready for our first timber. Jack, could you help me carry those 2 16s over here? Both hands like this. There you go. Great, yeah. Thank you.
So earlier I had my saw blade all the way down because I was going to I had to cut this edge off, and I thought, you know what, I don't need it all the way down, so I pulled it up a bit so that way it wouldn't, if it broke off, it wouldn't like splinter everything. Right. I came over here and I forgot to check my depth. I got super lucky, and it's like maybe 1/10 of an inch deeper than the line. Like, look how close that is.
Totally. Yeah, that's how you learn. I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just bring it up and you'll be set.
Yeah.
So is that your, so Jack, you're working on, is this the second row here?
Yeah, this is the second level.
Okay, so I'm in the excavating division. Jack's in the carpentry division here. Mm-hmm. Mrs. W is in the weeding division. Where's my daughter?
She's sleeping.
She gonna be out helping soon?
Probably. I'm gonna have to check on her soon.
I'll bring your little pool out. She can splash around.
She'd like that. Lots of weeding.
How are your blueberries doing, by the way?
Is it looking better?
Oh yeah. Can you show us your blueberries?
Yeah. So the blueberries, there's lots of blueberries. You can see. The bushes are.
Look at this.
Chock full, and the
finally, after 8 years. Things grow slow up here.
They do. The we've been eating the strawberries, and the raspberries are starting to come as well. So they're delicious.
Well, the garden's looking better. We've only been in here a day or two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do my guerrilla gardening where things are happening. They're just maybe not quite as neat and tidy as they should be.
Look how it looks.
Wow, that looks great, Jack.
It's a little bit rough here because it was cut deep.
Yep.
So I've fixed that mistake, and I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, it looks really good. How are you with your square there on the tongue?
That's what I'm checking right now.
Okay. Looks really good though. Yeah, that didn't hurt a thing. That's not going to matter. Won't show. Mm-hmm. Look, you got a nice square shoulder there. Nice and clean, looks great.
That is pretty simple to find out. It's 2 inches wide, so we just add 2 inches, right?
You can do that? Let's see how good we did here. 10 years of excavating, I should have picked up a thing or two. Can you cut this to 36 for me?
Cut it to 32 inches?
36.
Okay.
What is going on over here? What are you two contributing to the family? You happy to be back in your garden?
Yes. It needs some major weeding. It's been a little neglected these last couple of years.
How does it look?
Looks really good, Jack. This might be your best one yet.
What?
This might be your best one yet.
Yeah, it's really smooth.
That's a good joint there. So I'm gonna go put the hardware cloth on and then finish the excavating, and then if there's something I can do, you can put me to work doing joinery.
Okay. I'm having a pretty good time. There's wind, so I've got sun off of me and I'm also cooling down. But I think I'll be able to finish at least this whole thing by today.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, I need a job. Can you put me to work? What can I do? You changed. You want to check my work? See if it meets your standards. This is Jack's job, and he's quality control on here, so.
I mean, your job's gonna be better than mine. You did get a really rough one to deal with, though, didn't you?
It was a bad one. I set the gauge for you.
It's good.
That'll work?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your philosophy on the gloves and the hoodie on the scorching hot day?
Well, the gloves, it's because the wood we're dealing with is so sappy.
Oh, right.
And the hoodie is so that I sweat more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it is, all things considered, it's not like a super heavy hoodie.
Yeah.
It's not a super thin one, but it's not a heavy one either. So I'm not like overheating or anything. But I'm sweating more, so the brief bits of wind are very nice.
It is nice. I think Mom is going to really enjoy these nice planter boxes.
Hopefully.
You're funny. I'm super impressed. This is a lot better looking than the discarded boxes.
Well, I actually have, I have a little something special for these boxes that you don't know about as well that you're going to really like. Oh, well done, Jack. Look how good the joinery is. That gives me the fizz. Is there anything in life better than timber frame joinery that goes together the way it's supposed to?
Crepes.
Ah, crepes, yeah. Crepes afterwards. That looks awesome, Jack.
Looks really great.
Well done. So we're going to do one more course on top, and then that will give you 12-inch boxes.
Awesome.
And if you need one for the carrots, we'll make a deep one for you.
That sounds great.
So what do you think?
Looks really, really good. It's time. It's time. Yeah, can you show Papa?
Hi, my love. You have a beautiful hat on. What is this shirt you have? And you have pants with pockets? Show me your shirt. Well, turn this way so I can see it. Is it pretty?
Can you turn around? Twirl. Good girl.
I think you guys should go eat some of those raspberries over there.
Want some raspberries? Let's go eat some berries.
Great, Jack. Well done. All right, put your tools away. I want to tell you a good job. Borrow another one?
Yeah.
Okay.